Namaste. I welcome you all for the next class, the chapter Heat. So, students, yesterday we have understood the working, the precautions of a laboratory thermometer, as well as we have understood the difference between laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. So what are the differences, how and other things we have seen in yesterday's class. Now today we are continuing with another concept, that is the continuation part of the chapter Heat. The concept is transfer of heat. The concept is the transfer of heat. How the heat energy transfers. Basically, there are three different methods through which the heat transfers. So let me write those three different methods. Number one, conduction. Second one, convention. And third one, radiation. I write here, this is may not be visible. Conduction, convention, and radiation. So these are the three different methods through which the heat energy flows. So conduction, this is possible only in solids. Convention is possible in liquids, and the radiation is possible in space or vacuum. Conduction. See, the transfer of heat takes place in the solids by the method of conduction. The transfer of heat in liquids takes place by convention, and the transfer of heat in space or vacuum takes place through radiation. In today's topic, we understand how the transfer of heat takes place in solids, that is by the method of conduction. So here see, we know basically that heat flows from hotter end to the cold end in a body. Heat flows from the hotter end to the cold end in a body. This is the basic that we know. This method of transfer of heat is called as conduction. See, I will explain it to you. So here, this is a vessel you have taken. So here you are having milk. So this is the vessel and this is the milk. So day-to-day experience. So here you are given heat. So this is flame and this is the stand of flame. Okay. So there is a vessel. Inside the vessel you have a milk and you are giving heat energy, or you are supplying heat energy to the vessel by a gas with the help of a flame. So there are two, the moment you keep milk in a vessel and the burner you switch on, there are two ends in the vessel. Which are those two ends? This, the bottom part where the flame comes in immediate touch or immediate contact. So this part is your hotter end. So this is hot end. And this is cold end. The temperature at the bottom of the vessel is greater than the temperature at the tip of the vessel here initially. So let us imagine that milk takes 15 minutes to boil itself completely. So at the initial stage, the bottom of the vessel experiences a greater temperature. This is because the flame is coming direct in contact with the bottom of the vessel. After 5 minutes, slowly the temperature here at the bottom of the vessel starts spreading. We don't call it as spreading, we call it as transferring. Slowly the heat starts transferring from the bottom of the vessel to the other part of the vessel, including the milk. So imagine, let us suppose that at the 10-minute, the middle part will get heated. The bottom part slowly rising here. Let us imagine that at the middle part also gets heated up after 10 minutes. So initially you can hold the tip of the vessel like this with your fingertips. You can hold the tip of the vessel with your fingertips without any utensil, without any device or without any piece of cloth. But after 15 minutes, slowly the heat is increasing, it transferring to all the parts of the vessel. Slowly, 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 the temperature is increasing. So in the complete, you get the milk boiling like this. Slowly the milk starts coming here and you put off the burner and you cannot immediately touch the top portion of the vessel with your fingertips. Why? Here also it has become hot. Earlier this end was cold, but now after 15 minutes, the top tip of the vessel, that also has become hot. That means what? It means simply that heat flows from hotter end to the cold end in a body. In a body means especially the conduction takes place through solids only. Slowly the temperature is increased and it's transferred throughout the vessel. You cannot touch the vessel. Any part of the vessel you cannot touch with your bare hands. Either you have to take the device to hold it properly, or you have to take a piece of cloth and take it and puts it in the ground. So this is an experience by your mother. You ask your mother, she will tell you how to do this one. So tomorrow, why don't you have this activity in your kitchen? You will experience that one. A simple example. I have not given a textbook example purposely because this is a simple example and you can see it, you can experience it, and you can enjoy this doing how the heat transfer takes place in the solids. That's why I have taken a vessel, and moreover I have taken a milk. That is the day-to-day experience. Even if milk is not there, you can take water also, normal water, drinking water, and the same experience can be carried out. You will enjoy this. Looks very simple, but lot of information is there in this simple activity to understand how the heat flows in the solids. So it flows from hotter end to the cold end in a body. So you can do this and enjoy this one. So this is regarding conduction. So when we talk of conduction, there are two important things to be understood. One is conductors, others are, and the second part is insulators. Conductors, the materials which allow the heat energy to flow. Materials which allow heat to flow through them are called as conductors. For example, almost all the metal. You can take aluminium. So we have aluminium vessels in the kitchen. You take copper. Copper vessels are there in the kitchen. You take iron. We have iron box and many more. So in a simple word, I used to say that almost all the metals are good conductors of heat because they allow the heat energy to flow from one end to the other end. So such materials are called as conductors. Example, aluminium, copper, iron, etc. You can write many more. Insulators. So these act opposite of conductor. That means materials which do not allow heat to flow through them. Example, you have air, you have wood. Wood burns, don't get confused. Plastic, you have, and etc. Conductors, insulators. So normally when you talk of heat energy, more preferably we depend on the materials which allow the heat energy to flow through them, that is conductors. So we don't rely on insulators too much because they don't transfer the heat energy. So conductors and insulators, and I have given a simple activity to you to perform in your home. Do that and get back to me in the next class. So I hope you understood this one. Any doubt, you can ask your doubts in the mail. Still some are not sending the worksheets. Please do send to my email ID so that I will reply to you immediately. So I hope you have understood this concept, and tomorrow we continue the same thing and we meet again to continue our concepts. Thank you.